Inflammation that's out of control in your body is extremely destructive. And because you and I both know how important this is to get inflammation under control, we're going to talk about the anti-inflammatory supplements that you can utilize to lower inflammation. And we'll even take this a step further, looking at the major ingredients here and whether or not it's better to get them from food or supplementation. But before we get started, I'm Dr. Nick Zyrowski, and if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and click on the link below and join my private natural health community called Health Club. In Health Club, we arm you with the proper resources that are needed in order to maintain good health and do it naturally in today's environment. The truth is every day people are getting sicker. This year alone, we're expected to hit the highest cancer rates ever in recorded history. And so this is why you need to join Health Club today in order to transform your health tomorrow. Go ahead and click on the link below and join me in Health Club. Now let's talk about inflammation and how it relates to your health. Now, the thing is that you may not know about inflammation that's chronic in your body is that it's related to over 12 major health conditions that you may be suffering from today or someone you love may be suffering from. These 12 conditions include things like cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, cancer, autoimmune disease, neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, chronic respiratory conditions, metabolic syndrome, obesity, chronic pain, also joint and bone disorders, skin conditions, and mental health challenges. Now, once again, when you think of inflammation, you don't typically correlate it with all of these particular issues, but it's closely related. So we have to really look at what are options for lowering inflammation. Most people turn to medication. There's some problems with that. These medications are harsh on your gut, harsh on your liver, and even can cause a lot of side effects and symptoms. So what you can do instead is you can look to nature and nature's natural ingredients that have been proven in many research studies to lower inflammation and do it effectively. So here's the major ingredients we're going to talk about. First, let's look at how you could actually get these from food, and then we'll look at why you actually might want to get them from supplementation if you're really taking the topic of lowering inflammation seriously. So now let's break down the best nutrients you can utilize in order to lower inflammation in your body today. And we're going to start with curcumin. Curcumin is probably one of the most popular natural ingredients for lowering inflammation. So let's understand this a little bit better. If we want curcumin, this comes from turmeric, right? Well, why can't we just eat turmeric? Sprinkle lots of turmeric on your food. Well, there's a problem there. The problem is that you would have to eat bowls of turmeric in order to actually get any sort of result. So if you want to actually lower inflammation with curcumin, there's a few things that has to happen. One, it needs to be mixed with black pepper extract in order to be more bioavailable because it's very difficult for your body to absorb. And then the other thing is it has to be in higher amounts. The curcumin has to be in high amounts and bioavailable, and that's how it works. So for this one, we're definitely going to stick to the supplement form if we want to get results. Let's look at ginger now. Well, ginger is something that is very overwhelming as far as its flavor. If you put it in a smoothie, the whole smoothie tastes like ginger. If you put it in a meal, it can also be a little bit overwhelming as well. Now, here's the thing about ginger though, is that if you go and you incorporate this into your meals, it is going to be something that is very beneficial, right? We don't have to have a ton of it to get results. And so I do like using ginger in the form of food, but I will say in the form of supplementation where they actually take the ginger extract and put it in a higher dose, the very specific nutrients that are related to lowering inflammation, it of course is going to work better, okay? So that's how we look at ginger. Now let's talk fish oil. Your fish oil is going to really come mostly from your fatty fish, your salmon, mackerel, anchovies, sardines, and herring. These are the best fatty fish that are going to give you lots of DHA and omega-3s and all the different oils you need in order to thrive. So we could eat a lot of fatty fish. That's great. There's some challenges with that. First of all, a lot of fish have mercury in them. They also have other pollutants that you don't want in your body, and fish can be expensive if you're not buying farm raised, which I don't recommend. So here's the thing about fish oil is it is very easy to supplement with it daily. If you're somebody who has access to good quality fish and lots of it, by all means, get your fish oil from eating good, healthy fish. Let's take a look at vitamin D. This is a big topic, right? If we want to lower inflammation in our body, we need good levels of vitamin D. Well, how could we get it? Food is a pretty awful source of vitamin D, so we need to get it from the sun. Now, unfortunately, because of the environment that many of us live in, there's a challenge. For me, I live in Michigan and we have cloud cover for about 2 months out of the year where you're not going to get vitamin D from the sun and it's cold outside. Now, the other issue is that many of us live a lifestyle where we're working indoors at a desk, and then this also doesn't allow us to spend enough time out in nature. So therefore, vitamin D, though best is going to come from the sun, we're just reasonably not going to get enough of it. So supplementation is always something that should be on our mind. Between about 5 to 10,000 IUs of vitamin D per day. Now, with vitamin D, it's always best to get a blood test and see what your levels of vitamin D are to make sure that you are at sufficient levels in order to lower inflammation. There's nothing worse than a vitamin D deficiency in your body. Now let's talk about green tea. Can we just drink some green tea every day and get amazing results with lowering inflammation? Maybe. It's a little bit challenging though. So obviously drinking green tea is great. There's plenty of benefits that come along with it, and most of us like it. Now the issue with green tea is that there's an active ingredient in it called ECGC, and we'd have to drink about 12 cups of green tea every day in order to get enough of that in order to help us really lower inflammation. So though I'm all for drinking green tea, there's an issue of just getting enough of that compound within green tea that lowers inflammation in our body. And so supplement form is always going to work a little bit better there. With our garlic, I am completely fine with sprinkling some garlic on your food and utilizing it in that way. Garlic in supplement form, where you're just getting that really high dose of garlic extract, is going to be a little bit more profound at lowering inflammation. But once again, I have no problem sticking to food with garlic. And then vitamin C, this is going to come from our citrus-based fruits. And I'm a big fan of making sure you're eating lots of those in order to get all the benefits that they have to offer. The nutrients, the polyphenols, everything that comes along with a lot of good healthy citrus fruits. So if you're sick, you could always boost up vitamin C levels in your body in order to give you that extra boost at lowering inflammation, helping you feel better. But overall, what you see with a lot of these different ingredients, supplementation is always better because they're going to be more bioavailable, and a supplement is always going to really focus on that very specific nutrient within these different foods here that will lower inflammation. Now, I will tell you something more. I do this type of work clinically every day where I'm helping people lower inflammation. And what I find works best is taking many of these different ingredients here and combining them so that you have a synergistic approach that will be far more profound. So an example of that would be taking curcumin, combining it with ginger and other anti-inflammatories. That will always work better than just taking curcumin alone. And what I'll do is I'll put a link in the description below to an anti-inflammatory supplement that we see the best results with clinically, and it's called Herbal-Flam. So you can click on the link below to get access to that. So these are the ways that you can naturally lower inflammation and hopefully avoid these 12 chronic conditions that none of us want to face. I'm Dr. Zyrowski. If you enjoyed this video, I think you'll really like this video over here next.